What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk a little bit about something I've been seeing on YouTube in the Pokemon investing space over the past week, which is the crash. Is it time to sell? Should people be worried about a market correction and things going to zero? And people just seem a little more panicky. I'm starting to see an increase in the amount of videos from creators talking about this sort of thing. People just in general, whether it's in comment sections or on Reddit, just having this discussion more. And I feel like we go through this basically every 3 months at this point. I don't know, maybe like a month after we have a leg up, it kind of just seems like a lot of people start to freak out, get worried, call that there's a bubble coming. And, I've definitely been a part of this in the past, talking about this. And again, I'm going to talk about it a little bit today, but I might have a little bit more of a bullish take compared to some people. I don't know. But we should at least acknowledge that there has been a pullback in some sealed items across the board. So Paradox Rift is a prime example. We saw sales all the way up to around $400 on this, and now a lot of sales in the 280 range. We talked about this the other day. Also, Surging Sparks, I did hint at this in a video, but there were a couple sales here around $250. Now we're seeing sales around $280, $290. This was up to, I think, $305 about a week ago at this point, maybe. And then also Destined Rivals, we saw sales up to like $700 on this. Now, obviously, it wasn't going to level out around 700, but we've come all the way down to around 420 on TCG Player, and recent sales, you even have some around 400, 410, 415. So you've definitely seen people taking profits on booster boxes, and it's not just on booster boxes, it's also on ETBs. Crown Zenith, we pulled back maybe a couple percentage points over the past week or so, down to around $221 on TCG Player. 151 ETBs, fairly big drop here over the past couple days. We went from around 405, we're now down to $396. And you can see still a lot of sales around 400 bucks. I don't think it's a big deal. I was actually trying to figure out where this drop came from, because with all these sales being right around 400, I didn't expect it to drop from 405 to 396 basically like overnight. Doesn't really make sense to me, but I'm not going to pretend like I know what's going on. I will say though, because I didn't do an ETB update yesterday. Well, I did the spreadsheet update. I didn't make a video about it. So if you guys are in the spreadsheet, you can go check all the numbers out. I will say that sets that were in a position to move, like 151, like Crown Zenith ETBs, these have slowed down a little bit. We're actually seeing a decent amount of supply of these hitting the market over the past week or so. And I think it's going to be slowing down the growth of these a little bit. People are definitely taking profits. So at this point, it kind of feels like we might see these start to trade sideways, at least for a couple weeks, if not a month or longer. Now, before we go any further, I did want to jump in here and give a shout out to today's video sponsor, the Shiny app. Shiny is a mobile app that helps you guys track your investments and collection, whether that's in Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Disney Lorcana, Sorcery, Gundam, or One Piece. In Pokemon specifically, they cover English, Japanese, and simplified Chinese product. And in my opinion, they're the best user experience out there. And also, I love the fact that they're trying to update their data more frequently than everyone else. They're updating twice per day from places like TCG Player, eBay, Card Market, and price charting. And the best part about the app is that it's absolutely free. So I'll leave links to the Google Play and App Store in the description and pinned comment down below. And thank you to Shiny for sponsoring the video. Some of the top cards, we're starting to see people take profits. I mean, the Charizard 151, this was up to over $300 at its peak. We're now sitting around $280-ish. The Marshadow, I mean, this is kind of funny. Someone was definitely trying to pump this up. It got up to around $100. We're now sitting around $56. And yeah, it's kind of holding in this range, I guess. That's cool. But a lot of top cards. I mean, even the Bubble Mew, which I think we're going to bring up later because we're going to talk about the Solosis from Black Bolt, I believe. This card is slowing down a little bit as well. I think we saw sales almost up to like 800 bucks, now sitting around 650. So a lot of things are slowing down, but not everything. So Paldea Evolved is a set that throughout all of this is just continuing to slowly move up. We're sitting around almost $480 on TCG Player. I still think Paldea is going to be over 500 by the end of the year, and it looks like it's just continuing to do its thing, right? When we look at secondary market data, sure, like many other sets, there was probably more supply out there over the past couple weeks, but it's still selling at a decent pace, and it really only is a matter of time before it breaks through to that 500 range. Now, Stellar Crown, another set that is continuing to move up. I've talked about this multiple times on the channel, being one of those sets that doesn't have a ton of supply out there. And when I look at the SV era, in my spreadsheet every single week, Sometimes there will be a large increase of boxes below 20% leg up. The reason for that is you might have a large store like Hobbiesville, or P Football Pete might put up more boxes or something like that, right? Maybe TCA Gaming puts up some boxes. So that can really alter the supply out there for some of these sets. But for Stellar Crown, it's never been that way. We've never seen this box go from like, 4 or 5 cases on the market up to like 20 or 30 cases. It just hasn't happened. So it still could happen in the future. Like maybe some of these large sellers are waiting for the box to hit like $350, $400 before they try and offload. That is entirely possible. But up till this point, basically this entire year, we have not seen that with Stellar Crown. Now, Journey Together is another set that is continuing to move up. We're over $260 USD now on the enhanced booster box. And you're going to see here in a second, a lot of the cards inside Journey Together are also on the run, which I think is kind of interesting. But also 151 UPCs, I wanted to touch on this. These are continuing to move up. Also, the Sword and Shield UPCs are doing fairly well. And also the Celebrations UPC, not the ETB, the UPC for that is performing fairly well, actually, surprising. And I think all of these are eventually going to be over $1,000. Maybe that's 2, 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road, but I do think they will eventually get to that point. It is impressive to me how well these sell, considering they are like $600, $700 items at this point, $800 for Celebrations, maybe even at this stage of the game. I know the Sword and Shield Charizard one is only like $400, $350, whatever it is, right? Maybe it's a little bit more than that, I can't remember. But they're all getting up there in price. And also prismatic ETBs, I forgot to mention, I think this is the last thing on the list for sealed product that's still doing well. You can see here over the past couple days, we moved back down. We're going back up though again. We're already back to around the mid 130s and lots of sales in that range. You even have some up into the 140s. So Prismatic Evolution's doing its thing. And I will say this was another week where when I looked at eBay and the amount of boxes of Prismatic available, there were less than last week by a decent amount. Now, the sales volume was down significantly on this, and basically across the board, sales volume was down. So I'm not looking at that as a prismatic issue, but maybe just like a general market fatigue, people just slowing down their buying a little bit. Either way, prismatic is still selling at a very strong rate compared to basically any other ETB. And I think it is only a matter of time before we see these hit $150, $200 eventually if we don't get more ETBs on the market. Now, to close up this video, and I know it's been a little bit rambly, so thank you for bearing with me. We're going to look at a few cards that are still doing well because it seems like everyone's talking about the crash, things going down. Let's talk about a few things that are bucking the trend in terms of singles. Roaring Moon EX, Prismatic Evolutions, around $300 now, and it's holding strong in that range. Recent sales from today, $297.50 and $300, $299.99, but $300 basically. Yeah, a couple days ago we had a sale at $270. Obviously, we did have an outlier sale here, $450 back in early October, but fairly consistent around $300 for the Shinji Kanda artwork. After that, we will see a few Journey Together cards on the list. This is the stamped box topper promo of En's Reshiram, sitting around $45, $46 on TCG Player. This is kind of an interesting one. It seems like someone is trying to pump this really hard because you can see here lots of sales up to even like $60 and multiple quantities. So this tells me someone's trying to buy this out. But then you see here sales at like $24, $25, which before this pump was basically market price on this, maybe closer to $30-ish before that leg up around 25, and that was back September 26, not too long ago, a couple weeks at this point. So it does seem like someone is trying to buy this out, and then you have people coming in, taking advantage of that, and just trying to move their singles. Another card that is definitely getting pumped is the Solosis from Black Bolt. Someone in my comment section told me to take a look at this, and I think this is just crazy. This is the artist who did the Bubble Mew. So I don't know if there's like some reasoning going on to buy out this card outside the fact that they're both Pokemon inside a bubble drawn by the same artist. Fairly simplistic style. I'm not saying it's a terrible artwork or anything, but this is not a popular Pokemon. It's an illustration rare. It's not an SIR. It's not going to be difficult to pull. This should be nowhere near $65. I did read a comment saying that the person doing this is just doing it to show that buyouts are like a thing and just show how ridiculous it is. I don't know if that's true or not. I just read one comment, but if that is the case, I will say something. When Brian from PokeNE was trying to, manipulate the Barboach, that was like a 2-cent card. And I think that's fine because for one, he said he was doing this. That was the goal. Two, if people were buying it, he was giving them like credit to his site, which is great. But then three, it just is a super cheap card that no one's really going to be buying unless they're participating in the manipulation of that card, if that makes sense. Whereas something like this, a Solosys, this was like a $10 illustration or $12. It's now up to $65. I know for a fact that someone is just going to be buying this because they're going to try and master set, or maybe they like this Pokemon, they want it for their collection, whatever. And this manipulation on TCG Player is absolutely going to cost them more money trying to buy this card on eBay or at like a Collecticon or in person, whatever it is. Sellers are going to look to TCG Player, look at recent solds. This is going to affect eBay. So if you are going to try and manipulate a card, you might as well do it on like a 2-cent card if it's just for the memes or to try and make a point. Because when you do it on something that actually has some value that people more than likely will try and collect if they are master setting or whatever, you are going to be costing people money, and that just is the reality. So to me, it just doesn't sit well. I don't really like if that's the case, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Again, that was just me reading a comment. Either way, this card is on the move. I imagine it's going to come back down and be like a $15, $20 card eventually, maybe $30, who knows. We passed the Bubble Mew because that's the same artist. Lily's Clefairy EX from Journey Together. This is sitting around $170 now, guys. I think when we looked at this maybe like a week ago, it was around 150, 155 bucks, continuing to move up. Recent sales are in this range, maybe pushing closer to $180 over the past couple days. Misty's Psyduck is also up, sitting around $72, $73 USD, and recent sales are in this range, maybe a little bit on the lower end. You can see here a $49 sale as well from yesterday. Misty's Lapras also on the move, up around 32% on the month, sitting around $42, $43. And then finally, a couple cards from Stellar Crown. The Bulbasaur's back up to around $60-ish, and it is selling in that range. We've seen sales up to almost $73 today. And then the Squirtle, which shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, up to around $88, top card in the set, up almost 38% on the month. And recent sales from today, sure, you have one at $82, but $110, $109.40. That was from yesterday, but past like 4 sales, you're averaging around $90, $95, something like that. And all of this is to say that even though some people are taking profits on certain sealed items, on certain cards, I don't think we're in a crash. I could be wrong about that, but when I look at Pokemon, when I look at my investments, my general thesis about investing in this stuff hasn't changed at all, which is when people open products, they're more than likely doing it for the gambling aspect at this point. It's so ingrained in society, and over time, we're going to have less and less of this on the market. So if gambling stays, if people want to open packs, rip, try and chase their top cards or whatever, these packs, these boxes are going to be more expensive. And if the investing journey gets expedited by people coming in from Wall Street and other large investors buying up a lot of stuff, then great. Like, to me, as long as I feel confident that there is consumer demand for these products, I'm going to stick with my sealed investments. And I think people are also overestimating at this point how much sealed product is owned by the smaller collectors and investors that maybe only have a few $1,000s invested, who might need the money in the short term. I think at this point, there are so many large players in this hobby that they don't need the money from their product. It's probably a small percentage of their portfolio. So if anything bad happens over a 5 to 10 year period, they're more than likely just going to hold their product. And as badly as some creators on the platform want everything to crash, go to zero, guys, I see the comments all the time. Like, you look at my YouTube shorts, there are so many people wishing like the crash comes, all my stuff goes to zero. I know I'm not the only channel who gets comments like this as well, but I just think we're so far away from that even being a possibility that you probably shouldn't be worrying about it right now. I think you should be more worried about protecting your investments from flooding, from fire, from being stolen, etc. For a lot of people, that should probably be your top priority, is making sure that you have insurance and it's in a well-protected environment. But that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. If you guys disagree with anything I've said in this video, let me know in the comments down below. If you did get some value out of this, I'd really appreciate if you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps out a ton. Leave a comment down below for the algorithm. As always, stay safe wherever you guys are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.